Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Home Business Startup at HomeBizStartupTV, and I'm Jane Gardner, and this is a weekly show on how to start, run, and grow a home business. Today, it's all about mindset and messaging today. We are going to be talking about your positive attitude. And then we're going to be talking about what is your brand and what is your message, because of course they're all intertwined in terms of your attitude and being positive and your messaging. So we could put them all together. So first off, we're going to be talking about positive attitude as a trait of the mindset of an entrepreneur. And then I'll give you the action steps that you can take in order to develop a better positive attitude as an entrepreneur. And then we're going to be having a talk on what is a brand. And then we'll have questions for you to take away at the end. So here we go. I'm Jane Gardner, and if you don't know, I work with my husband in our structural engineering firm, and I came out onto the internet about 3 or 4 years ago to help others be entrepreneurs. So today we're going to be talking about mindset. And mindset there's various things that we can talk about, and I won't go over them again, but these are the action steps that we'll be talking about later. So for now, we're going to go on and talk about positive attitude, and I hope when I talk about my own attitude and how sometimes it's not always positive, that you'll be kind to me. And then we'll talk about the action steps you can take that I just showed you. So hold on and let's go. As today, as an entrepreneur, I think the easiest way to be successful is to be able to control and have a positive mindset. With the stresses and the challenges of being an entrepreneur, it's sometimes an overwhelm. It's very difficult sometimes to feel why are you here as an entrepreneur when you could just be off doing a job. But of course, we all know why you're here. It's because you want to be in control of your life and you enjoy the challenges of being an entrepreneur. So at the beginning of the show, we discussed some of the traits of being having the mindset of an entrepreneur. And some of these included having a positive attitude, having passion, being an action taker, embracing change, and having determination, a willingness to take failure as feedback of the process of being an entrepreneur. Having a why, having a big picture as to why you're being an entrepreneur, having the patience to be an entrepreneur, but also be willing to be an action taker and not procrastinate. Having the willingness to learn as an entrepreneur on your own as well as from others, and the willingness to listen and share with others as well. So these are some of the mindset traits that we're going to be talking about. And right now we're still on positive attitude. Last week it was why to have a positive attitude as an entrepreneur. Oh no, that was the week before. And then last week was one of the ways in order to keep your attitude positive is to have a lot of positive affirmations in your life so that you can listen to them as, of course, on audio, or have them on your computer, or read books on positive affirmations and positivity to help create a better positive attitude for you when you're under the stress and challenges of being an entrepreneur. Well, today we're going to be talking about probably the most critical issue with being an entrepreneur and having the mindset and keeping it positive, and that is your inner voice. We all have an inner voice, and some days they can be very loud and sometimes they can be quiet. But we have to be able to train our brains so that we can remove the negative and increase the positive attitude in order to keep on going. So I just wanted to show you that. Your inner voice can make a huge difference in your life. In your happiness, in your success, and your productivity. You can easily talk to yourself, but when you begin to answer yourself, there becomes a problem, unless you're willing to learn how to change some of your attitude. So no, you want to listen to your talk and then provide answers can actually be very useful to your well-being. So rather than saying, let's just shut up your inner voice, we're going to listen to it. And to be honest, as an entrepreneur, you need to listen to a lot of things. And if you can listen to your inner voice and recognize when you're speaking negatively and having negative thoughts, you'll be halfway there. So tuning into your self-talk can help you analyze it, and then you can begin to correct the negative talks you're giving yourselves. Like, oh, I can't do this, or I should do that, or why haven't I done that, or, well, anyway, don't get me started. This is Monday, so we have to be positive. You all know what that negative talk is, that you're when you talk to yourself. We have to get rid of that. So what you can do is, if you're feeling a bit stressed or negative, you ask yourself, what am I telling myself at this minute? What is my inner voice telling me to do? What is my inner voice saying? Negative self-talk can make you anxious. It can make you feel depressed. It can stress you. It can physically affect your health. So anticipate and rewrite your inner dialogue. Just like these positive skydivers who are very positive about skydiving in my picture. For those of you on audio, you have to rewrite your inner dialogue. So adjust your self-talk to turn a very difficult situation into one where you're successful. So what that means is that the way you use your inner voice can make a positive or negative situation. So, for example, if you're in a difficult situation with a client and it's really getting you down, and when you leave, the client leaves and you're still feeling down, you have to realize, hey, why am I feeling down? I'm an entrepreneur. I should be positive. This isn't important. Just go away, negative talk. It's time for more positivity. I'm taking my own life here. I've got the challenge, but I'm excited about the challenge. I love getting my own money and getting up in the morning, and it's all up to me. Just go away. So what? It's just one client. Go away, negativity. Sorry, that's me talking to myself. So listen to what you're telling yourself. I always do that, so it's very easy for me to do. And then write down the negative thoughts and then analyze them, so you realize you can avoid them use positive thinking, or you can just wipe them out of your head. You can laugh. You can just crumple up the piece of paper and throw away the piece of paper with all these negative thoughts about what's happening. What had happened today? I forget now. Oh, I haven't put on a link for one of my offers where I'm selling something. So here are all these 50 people who have gone to my link, and and they've got nothing to do. So I mean, obviously you change it as quickly as you can, but you don't beat yourself up over mistakes because you're rushed and things like that. It's just being an entrepreneur. So remove the negative thoughts from your mind. Negative talk can affect you and those around you, so always be listening for the negative self-talk in your head and clear it away with positive talk. And there always is also the point has been made, and I'm sure you've heard it before, that if you're around negative people, this is very bad for you as an entrepreneur. If you have people who don't understand this about positive thinking and negative thinking and how it can affect you and your health and your self-worth and your self-talk, then get away from them. Somehow, just if they're family, just try and avoid them as much as possible. If it's clients, well, you can't do much about them. Just realize when they leave that you have to remove this negativity from yourself and maybe just put on some music or clear your mind. And if it's people that you're networking with, well, they're not the people to network with, because all they'll be is very negative, and they won't be very productive in terms of being an asset to you. So besides the negative talk, also take away the negative people. There's my tip for the day. Positive thinking will become a habit, and you'll be more positive with others. You'll be more confident, and you'll have less stress or anxiety, and you'll be able to deal with anxious situations and stressful situations by having the ability to have positive thinking in your life. So positive self-talk from now on. So get training your brain now. For more ideas on mindset training, go to http://jgtips.com/mindsettrain and subscribe to Mindset Entrepreneur Life magazine, which I haven't done yet. So you'll get it in a week. This is on June 26, 2016. Everybody else, yes, I've got it. It's probably pretty awesome, because what it also includes, it also includes action steps always to improve or train your brain to maximize your mindset skills. And that's not just positive attitude, but all the other ones like willingness to learn, willingness to be able to accept challenges, etc. A 5-minute video on mindset with some action step worksheet. And the subscription is $7 a month, and it's once a week. And you can, I think I'll send it on the Friday, so you have a little bit of time on the weekend. You can go through it and do some of the exercises so that you're stronger and your mind is being trained for Monday. So it's a no-brainer mindset trainer at http://jgtips.com/mindsettrain. And yes, I think that link is working. Yes, it is. And here we go. We've talked about positive attitude, and I hope you got some things out of that. And as I mentioned, here are some of the action steps that you can take in order to have a positive attitude as an entrepreneur. If you remember, we looked at getting rid of negative thoughts, and some ways that you can do that is to ask yourself every day, what am I telling myself at the minute? If I have negative thoughts, then it's time to get rid of them. And so you anticipate and rewrite your inner dialogue if you find you're getting into a negative space. And so you could laugh. You could write down the negative thought and throw it away physically. That might help. And then start using positive talk. Or we've also discussed about how to avoid negative people. So some people just always have a negative mindset, and that can get you down into a negative mode. So you don't want to do that. So sometimes you're just going to have to take some of those negative people and get rid of them out of your life. I think we discussed that already. And make positive thinking a habit in your life. So train your brain to have positive self-talk only. And so now we're going to talk about what is your brand in our weekly digest. So here we go. Hi, this is Get Your Message Out Tuesday. And I'm going to show you the logo because I quite like it. It's all about you. You and your message on your website, on your social media. So let's get started. I think I told you an overview last week about what we were going to talk about for the year, because yes, it's going to be a year, because we're doing 4 weeks each on each of the subjects. But first off, I forgot to say who I was. I did say who I was, but who I am. I'm Jane Gardner, And I work with my husband for the last 20 years in our home-based engineering office, and we live in Western Canada. We like to travel. We have our dogs and cats, and I'm an artist, and I like to do memes because I find that they're a lot of fun. They evoke a lot of emotion. They get a lot of comments because there's a commonality in memes, in philosophy, and in the quotes, etc. So I like doing memes. So you'll probably see me around the internet doing my memes. And today we're going to be talking about being seen. So let's have a look at, I think, what we're going to be talking about. On today's training, we're going to be getting your message out Tuesday. If you want to subscribe, you can go to http://jgtips.com/GYMOT. And I also believe I have it hyperlinked to GMOT because I forgot the Y one day. So anyway, let's get started. Today, as I mentioned, I am Jane Gardner of jane-gardner.com. As well, I have a few other websites, but we can talk about that later. But how many people are there on the internet today? Well, there's 3.3 billion people out on the internet. And out there is your customers. So how are you going to message them so they find you? And how are you going to actually connect with your customers? Well, today we're going to be talking about you and your brand, but we will also be talking about later. There'll be 4-week trainings on you and your brand, you on your website, you and social media. Which one should you be using in your business? Because it depends on what your business is and who your customers are as to which is more effective a social media platform for you. And then we'll look at all the various social media platforms like Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, etc., etc. There's plenty of them, and there'll be plenty more within the year. So we'll be looking at each of them for 4 weeks. But today we're going to be talking about you and your brand. And today I wanted you to know that your brand, in order to know what your brand is, you need to know what your business is, of course. And what's your message going to be for your business before you can do anything with your website or social media. However, I am also the type of person who says, just get started developing a brand, as it can change easily through time. I have still, of course, the business of at-home business. I started with that because, of course, I wanted to help people in business start their own home business. So I thought, well, okay, I'll use the home business brand. And that was the one that I could get as a website, and I started developing that. And then I got some very sage advice to say, well, okay, but are you a website? If you want to be training people and helping them with their business, they want to connect with you. They don't want to connect with the business of at-home business. So I changed my branding about last year to jane-gardner.com. Now, the only reason I did that was because it's my name, and in order to connect with me, you need to know who I am. So I like to try and make sure that it's very clear on my website who I am. So for you, you have to start thinking about building a brand. But now, what is a brand? Now, some people say a brand is a logo, but for me, I find that a brand is your promise, it's your commitment, and what you stand for in your business. And I got this idea from Darren Scott Monroe, who was my coach for a while there, who also helped me develop my Jane Gardner website, because basically your mission statement is about what your business stands for, and really people connect with people So you need to, they don't connect with logos or any words on your website. They connect with people. So it's who you are as a person and what your promise is and your commitment is as a person and what you stand for in your business. If you're clear on that with people, those people who like your promise will come and work with you. So other people may say that your brand is your logo or your colors, but for me, your brand is your message. What is the message that you're saying out there about you as a person, as in your business? And even if you have a business which is not a coaching, what is you saying about your business? You should be clear on your website what the values are of your business, and so that people feel comfortable and they get to know and they get to like and they like to trust you. So a brand's not your logo or colors. It's what everyone who visits your business should know about your business. So your messaging is your brand. It comes from your values and your standards that you have in your business. These are what define what you say about you and your business. So, for example, I'm just going to today show you some ideas on branding in terms of who you are. And I'm going to be showing my website, not because I'm being an ego, it's just because it's who I am. So for my website, I have all my websites have my picture on it, and it's the same picture. And then I have various statements like implement.club. I feel very, and it's where we take action and get results in your business. So this is my where you connect with me as a person. So I have my story, and I talk about mindset and other things that are important to you in terms of becoming an entrepreneur. And then I have the same type of styling on my Facebook. So I use the same theme on my social media, for example. I have a couple of Facebook pages for different areas of my business, and they both use the same picture of me, and they use the same Facebook header, just because people can recognize on the internet that, oh, this is Jane Gardner, and that's her logo. It's just a recognition, and I think it goes well in terms of making it easy for people to recognize that you are there and this is your business. And it's the same for my Twitter and my LinkedIn. I try to use all the same messaging on there. And let's have a look at some other people. So for example, Darren Scott Monroe has a chargemoremoney.com where it's all about charging more money. So he has this picture, he makes a statement, and then later on, further down the website, if you get that far, he'll tell you some of the things that you stand for and stand against. So when you go to someone's website, you should be able to figure out who they are and what they stand for. So for example, michaelhyatt.com is another website where they're very much about branding. And I don't really like this one too much, but because it's a bit too simple and it's just about opting in on a freebie there and then some stuff below. I like the inside of his website better because it has more branding and has audios and videos. But I thought I would just show you some of the ways that as a person you can stand out with your brand on your website. And then Social Media Examiner, for example, they use, because I guess they're a bigger corporation with more people in the business, they like to use a stylized branding with the Explorer on it and certain colors. And then this is Red Bull, believe it or not. The red over there in the corner is the actual Red Bull logo. What for them though, what they want to highlight is the various activities they support. So that's a motocross event that's coming up, and there's the whole website is all about the activities that Red Bull has. And you'd probably have to look further into the website to find out about the Red Bull drink, where it's served. I don't know. So basically, when you're thinking about your brand and who you are, it's a work in progress. It doesn't happen overnight. And this, took me a while, and I just like the website theme, so that's why it looks that way. But I always make sure that I put on a expression of what I believe in, which is implementing, and my picture, even though, it's just a picture I took while I was home and flash, but it's important to know who it is on the website. So what about your brand and your business? Have you got a consistent look to your website and your social media platforms? Are you talking about issues and ideas that matter to you on a consistent basis in your business, through your blog posts, through your social media posts, through connecting with others, or on your webinars? Do you have your About Me story on your website? A lot of people don't. And that's really one of the first places that people go. So it's important that you make statements about yourself on that About Me story, so they get to know you. If someone visited you on social media, would they know you from visiting your website after they'd been on social media? Is there a consistent look to both? So it's all about people getting to know, like, and trust you as a person and your business. Your messaging as a brand needs to be clear, consistent, and easy to remember what you stand for and stand against, what your values are and your beliefs, in order to attract like-minded people, or people who want to be like you, to your business, who want your solution, who want to purchase your product. They need to feel comfortable about who you are, and you need to be able to have messaging that is consistent, especially every time. So that was just an overview of you and your brand. On next week's show, I'll go deeper in developing your messaging so that people understand what you stand for and stand against, what your promise is as a business, and what your commitment is to serving customers in your business. These are some of the things that people are looking for when you're branding your business. Make sure it's consistent, clear, and your messaging is also always consistent. So have a think about branding over the week, and then we'll delve deeper into developing your brand on next week's show. So thank you for listening. I thought we would start with your brand, because you really can't talk about your social media platforms, your website, until you decide what your message is as a brand, and what your message is as a person, and what your message is for your website. So we'll start with the brand, and we'll go through some exercises next week and maybe the week after, and start developing the idea of what your brand is. Well, I hope you enjoyed that as well. It gave you lots of thought about what is your brand, because your brand is not your logo, it's not your colors. What your brand is to be consistent. It's to be consistent in your attitude, in your promise to others, your commitment to your values and your mission, and what you stand for and stand against in your business. So have a think about what is your values that you're going to be using in your business. What things will you do and won't do? What is your mission? Who are you trying to help? Define that mission. Once you have that clarified, you can certainly put that up on a website that you might have. And how does your messaging reflect your mission and values that you use when you're out on your website, on your social media, etc.? We'll be talking about that further as we go along. And what do you stand for? This is very important. And what do you stand against? If you can be able to be clear, and people are aware of who you are, then they will know, like, and trust you more. So next time we'll be talking more about brand. What is a personal brand versus a business brand? And we'll be talking more on positive attitude because that's a really important one. The next time we have the Mindset and Messaging episode on HomeBizStartupTV. So if you want to subscribe, go to https homebizstartuptv.com at the business of at home business at http://boahb.com. Or, of course, you can subscribe here at my iTunes channel, if that's where you are. And also be over at YouTube. So we're everywhere. But to get any of the information and the action steps, etc. every week, you need to subscribe at https://homebizstartutv.com. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.